Hello, my name is Jason. The reason I started this YouTube channel, Southern Dad Guitar, is not to play songs and post them on YouTube for people to get famous, to get whatever, because I'm a horrible singer and probably a worse guitar player. I'm not very good or I don't think I'm very good for the few years I've been playing. But I think it's mostly my fault though, and so I'd like to help the beginner or the intermediate beginner move along and not make the same mistakes I made. Maybe I could help them and help myself as well. Uh, what I mean by that is I'm kind of fearful of playing in front of anyone, you know, even on video. Like I can play it decent when I'm not on video, but it seems like when I hit the record button, everything kind of goes downhill. I think it's up here though. It's up here more than likely. But anyway, not to get off topic, I was just wanting to tell everyone how I got started and go from there. Kind of, I love music, always have, and wanted to play forever, and didn't learn until a little later, in life, 40, around 40, a little after 40, I think, maybe right at 40. But anyway, when I started, so I've only been playing a few years. But anyway, I learned a chord, basically a chord a month, and or I would learn a chord, and when I had it down pat, I would go to the next, you know, tutorial on YouTube, or I have a couple books as well, but and that's how I learned the basic chords. I never wanted to be a awesome guitar shredder or anything like that. Yeah, it'd be great too. I'd love, but that's not what I started playing for. What I started playing for is to appease myself as far as music goes. I love music, and I love old music, mostly old country and old rock. A little bit of everything, really. But I loved old music. Let me turn this TV off here so it don't glare. I see it keeps glaring. There we go. Or something's glaring. Maybe it's that lamp. But yeah, and so I figured, I want to play and sing. I sing in the car, and I want to be able to play some of this stuff I sing, and especially the older country. And so, my uncle plays. And a few more people I grew up with plays, and I always, wanted to play too. And I tried a couple times as a kid, uh, playing, and I could play a couple little parts of songs, but never could play a complete song, or, like I could play and I don't even think it's the right way of playing it because I'm not a lead player, but I think this is like the first. I didn't learn Smoke on the Water to start. I think I learned like Metallica to start. I don't even think that's the way the song goes. I think you play it up here, really, or they do. But some people play it like this. This is the way I was taught. It's like that, basically over and over and over, and then it goes. But I'll play it one of these days. But that's not the correct way. People, this is the right way to play it. And this and that. And another thing, if you're a lead player, there is a right way to play something and a wrong way. Like, but if you're a rhythm player, it's mostly all about chords. It's all about, you've heard of three chords and the truth about every, or not, I won't say about every, but the majority of country songs from even today, or made up of, if you can learn three chords, then you can do it. So basically, I was just trying to help the next person to pass it along, to tell you the mistakes I made. That way, maybe you won't make them, and kind of like an introduction, and to this too, to keeping your instrument maintenance, keeping it worthy, not beating it up and throwing it. If you respect something, and you want to put your time into it, then to me you should take care of your instrument, no matter what that is, whether it's a bass, guitar, piano, whatever it is. So anyway, but you know, if y'all, I'll do a chord right now. I don't know. Uh, or no, I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's go over the guitar. Okay, what it is. This is a Dreadnought guitar, which most everyone knows about. Um, I'm assuming everybody has access to a Dreadnought. Most people in the classicals too. But the body of the guitar, of course, is this part, the strings. Everybody, that's common sense stuff. These are pins right here. I don't have good lighting in here, guys. I'll try to get better lighting for you. The pins, um, the bridge. I think this up here is the nut. Tuners, guitar tuners. Sound hole. Binding. I mean, that is a, you know, for the, I don't use one because I don't play publicly much or never really, such church. But yeah, strap, buttons, you know. Here's one underneath too, you know, for a strap. But I wanted to learn you the what I didn't get to learn as a beginner because I'm kind of not a social person, so I kind of learned myself everything, and it takes, you know, twice as long. Basically, if nobody shows you or trains you or teaches you how to do it, you know, think of math or anything like that in school that you learn. If you didn't have a teacher, you could learn it eventually, but it's going to take longer, right? So, and some of the mistakes I made was, for instance, I used to be really bad about playing chords, you know, and not muting that top string. And then later I saw why, you know, once I got to playing better, getting a rhythm and all that down, that top string, you would hit it every now and then. Accidentally, it happens, you know, even to professionals, you see them doing it. And I still do it now with it not muted every now and then. And just because I wasn't doing the right thing from the get-go. You want to do it right the first time when you train. You don't want to have to retrain later and then deal with it later, having to basically retrain your own, you know, yourself to do it a certain way. So, and I see the reason the reason I always made the excuse, you know, I have big fingers and they're not really long, so they're big around though, and that's why I can't play guitar good. Well, guys, if I can play with this ugly stuff, then surely you can play. So anyway, so let's go over some of the chords. I'll go over all or the ones I think that are the most important to me. And I don't do many bar chords, I'll go ahead and tell you. But here's a G. Let's see if you can, bottom string. What was that, third fret, right? Second finger. Don't play over here. Play right there. Play right there on the fret. See a lot of newbies doing that. That's another mistake. Play right there. You're going to get the best sound. You're not going to get, listen. Hear that? The closer you get to that, the better it's going to sound, trust me. And I'm still do it every now and then. I'll get off course looking at something else and my hand will drift. But, you know, I mean, especially if I go down here or do a different chord and come back not looking, then it'll drift a little bit, you know. So always hit it in the right spot. You want to get the best sound, you know, out of your stuff. And this is I'm preaching to the choir here because these are mistakes I'm still making sometimes. So guys, I'm just trying to help the people, guys like me out there that love music, that want to play just for you, or maybe for family, or maybe you do want to get out. And either way, it's going to help you. Okay, so that was the G. I think that's the first chord I learned was the G. Now some people play it. It's called this is the G2 where you can take your. Now I wish I would have started out like this too, and because this sounds more, to me it sounds better, this G chord. Now the one I've always been taught is this, the third finger right here. There's another way to play it, but this is usually the way people start playing it. I think you can play. I play it a lot. Well, I started like this, but now I play it with the pinky a lot too. It just depends on what chord coming next, and it's just easier to hit the C like that. But I'll show you a shortcut on that too. Okay, but right now let's just focus on this. Okay, that's a G, that's a G. It's the same chord. Listen, same chord, right? It's the same chord. See, same chord. C. Okay. Well, let's do that other G first before we go to C. Sorry, guys, I'm scattered. Okay, that's with the 2 fingers. Now, listen how much more better this sounds. I wish I played mine like this. My friend does, and he's just a madman on guitar. But listen how good that sounds, especially if you upstring. It sounds so much better than my crappy. I mean, why? And I'm too lazy to go back and change mine. See, that's another reason. Do it this way, and then you won't. But anyway, okay. C, like this. This was the roughest chord for me, guys. I'm gonna zoom on the hand. This was the roughest chord for me to learn. Always keep that thumb up there on that top string. If nothing else, touch it. That way, if you hit it accidentally while you're playing, see, it will mute it. Even if you're barely touching it, it's still gonna mute it. Okay. That's why you do that. It's not just all right. So look, first finger, second string up. I'm not going to go the E, A, D, the strings right now. I'm just going to say second string up because most beginners don't know yet right? First finger right there. Second finger, just go up one and one over 1 fret. But then here's the tricky. Am I doing that? Yeah, that's right. Here's the tricky part. Yes, the next one though, you don't go up one. You skip that one and go to the next one, right? So basically, you're here, second string down. You skip this one, second fret, all right? Second fret, fourth string down, and then the fifth, and then the bottom. See? That's a crappy C, wasn't that crappy? That's better. I can do it if I'm leaning back playing. It's like hard to get. And look, that was a stretch for me back then. That's why I left my thumb up. I was like that. And I couldn't reach it. But if you can at all, try to mute that top string. And you know how you were playing a G? Here's a real easy C is the shortcut way. Most people play it like this. It's just keeping that same one there. Most people do. That's the problem. It's got a little different sound. See, that's the difference in the sound that you're going to do by doing the shortcut. You're kind of, compromising the sound, but I guess, if you can't do it, you can't do it. So what you do basically though on the shortcut C, I can't even remember what that chord is now. It's called, I can't remember, but you just basically drop down a string with all of it, except for that, you still got to hold it on that third bottom, that third finger. You got to always hold it there. Or in case you're doing it, the bluegrass way or gospel way, whatever they call it, you can do the 2 here. I hope this is making sense, guys, and I'm not just doing this and you're thinking, man, this dude, I ain't got nothing out of this. I hope you guys are actually getting something out of this. So, okay, here's the G, my way. C. See the C? See the difference there? I didn't mute that. I was trying to show you guys the finger. Listen. Now listen, the difference in this. It is a difference in it. Yeah. That bottom. But if you don't hit the bottom string, it wouldn't be a difference. But you can do it like that if you wanted to. And I do that a lot. If I'm changing chords on a fast song, I know I didn't notice until later. Like, I'll be right. Even sometimes like that. Hammer on. We'll talk about that later. Okay, well, there's G, there's C, and let's do D. And that's it for today. 3 of them, G, C, D. You do these 3, you can play a lot of music with G, C, D. Even in a different order. You got to think, I don't have to go G, then C, then D. It can go, D, then G, then C. I mean, you can go any way with it. Okay, D. All right. It's only going to be on the second and third frets here, guys. These, whoops. this finger and this finger, okay? Second. You got the bottom string and skip one, okay? On the second fret. Then what you do, what do you think you do with that third finger? What do you think you do with that? You put it in the middle. That's it. But always still on that. Keep that thumb up there. Keep it muted. So here we go. There. We're in place. Now check it out. There's 3 chords. We'll do strumming patterns later too. See? I think it's like there's a bunch of songs you play 3 chords on. That'll be the next. After we get done with the chords, I got a couple more chords on the next one. Then we'll start the songs, and I'll do like 10 songs that you can play with those 3 chords. So, Southern Dad, I hope this helps. Car passing by. I'm in a tiny building, or tiny, whatever it is, house, shed, whatever. I do this, trying to start this in. So, anyway, yeah. And comment if somebody wants to learn. I'm going to keep posting videos. If nobody comments or likes them, maybe it'll pick up, maybe it won't. After, maybe a month, if nobody likes it or asks me to help them, then I won't. I'll delete them and just go back to playing music like I like to do. But if not, and you want to learn, I'm more than happy to try to help you. I don't know how good a teacher I'll be, but I'll learn you what I know, and let you know the reason I do that and do it like that. Because, like I said, I'm pretty much self-taught. Besides watching people do it, in church and other people, my family that plays and stuff, watching them. But as far as sitting down, somebody saying, okay, do this, do that, like we're doing, nah, I just watched it on YouTube. And so I hope this helps somebody. Y'all have a great night.